Welcome back to Retro Rules Vault, where horsepower never dies. I'm Retro Vault 4, your tour guide through the smoky burnout lanes of muscle car history. Today we're unleashing the 1970 AMC AMX. Think of it as the underdog that hit the gym and skipped leg day, because modern cars forgot what muscle means. Before the 1970 AMX even hit showrooms, AMC was already proven that this little muscle car could punch way above its weight. Back in January 1968, two specially prepared AMX models were brought to Goodyear's track in Texas, where they were piloted by none other than Craig Breedlove, his wife Lee, and Ron Dykes. Together they pushed the AMXs to 106 world speed and endurance records, basically turning the AMX into a tire-smoking, record-breaking superhero before it even had a chance to wear its street clothes. But the AMX's speed saga didn't stop there. Breedlove later took one of these machines to the legendary Bonneville Salt Flats, where the car hit a blistering 189 miles per hour during a United States Auto Club sanctioned run. And if that wasn't enough to make your hair stand on end, there was also an unofficial run that topped 200 miles per hour, essentially letting the AMX whisper, "Yeah, I can do that too," to every muscle car on the planet. It's proof that AMX didn't just make a fun little two-seater. They built a car that could dominate the track, break records, and give the bigger players a serious reality check. Who knew a compact muscle car could have the soul of a speed demon? American Motors wasn't shy about their 1970 AMX, boldly advertising, "We made the AMX look tougher this year because it's tougher this year." And honestly, they weren't bluffing. The 70 AMX got a mild facelift, but like a boxer who came back from training camp with a stronger jawline, the tweaks gave it all an all-new personality. Up front, AMC stretched the hood and added a power blister with two big scoops, functional cold ram induction when paired with the Go package on the 360 or 390 engines. This wasn't just for looks. Those scoops fed the beast. The grille went flush and full width, seamlessly blending into the headlights for a sleeker, more aggressive stare, like the AMX was sizing up its prey at a stoplight. Around back, designers stretched the tail lamps across the entire width, giving it a bold signature glow with a single center-mounted backup light for that little touch of uniqueness. Side marker lights borrowed from AMC's parts bin kept it in the family. Though it kept the same wheelbase, the subtle stretch and overall body length, about 2 inches, gave the AMX a more muscular stance. Tougher? Absolutely. This wasn't just a facelift. It was AMC putting on its game face. When it came to engine performance, the 1970 AMX wasn't just flexing, it was downright showing off. AMC shuffled the deck under the hood, dropping the 290 V8 and replacing the 343 with a brand new 360 cubic inch 4-barrel, good for 290 horsepower. That meant the base AMX was now 65 horses stronger than before. Not bad for a car that already had a reputation for punching above its weight. But the real heavyweight was still the 390 cubic inch V8. For 1970, it came with redesigned cylinder heads featuring tighter 3.1 cubic inch combustion chambers. Translation? More squeeze, more boom. The result was 325 horsepower and a tire-twisting 430 foot-pounds of torque, enough to make the AMX feel like it was bending the laws of physics at every stoplight. And yes, the VIN still carried the proud X code to prove you'd gone all in. Then came the cherry on top, the Go package. For just under $300 with the 360 or about $384 with the 390, you could add a functional ram air induction system that let the engine gulp fresh air like a sprinter on the starting line. In short, the AMX's engine lineup for 1970 was AMC saying, "Who's laughing now?" If the 1970 AMX had muscles under the hood, then its drivetrain and transmission were the sinews that kept it all moving in sync. Standard equipment was the kind of gearbox every gearhead dreams about, a floor-shifted, close-ratio, 4-speed manual. This wasn't just a transmission, it was a weapon. Every flick of the shifter felt like cocking back a slingshot, sending all that horsepower straight to the rear wheels with precision. For drivers who loved to roll their own gears, it gave the AMX the feel of a barroom brawler. Direct, raw, and not afraid to throw the first punch. But not everyone wanted to wrestle with a stick shift in traffic, and AMC had an answer. The optional 3-speed shift command automatic, mounted right there on the console. Now, don't let the word automatic fool you. This wasn't some lazy commuter gearbox. With shift command, drivers could leave it in full auto mode for cruising or slap it into the manual control, holding gears as long as they pleased. Think of it as giving the AMX two personalities: smooth talk on the boulevard, or Street Fighter when the light turned green. Whether manual or automatic, the drivetrain setup ensured that the AMX wasn't just about brute force, it was about controlled chaos. The 1970 AMX didn't just rely on brute engine force, it had the bones and legs to back it up. Built on a unibody chassis, the AMX was stiff, strong, and lighter than the old-school body-on-frame setups. Think of it like a prize fighter with a lean frame. Not bulky, but rock solid where it counts. This gave the AMX a nimble edge, making it more than just a straight-line missile. Up front, AMC gave the car double wishbone suspension setup, and this wasn't some basic stick a spring in there and call it good arrangement. Nope, this setup included ball joints, upper and lower control arms, coil springs, and shock absorbers perched above the upper control arms. It's like the AMX had a gymnast flexibility in its shoulders, able to absorb bumps while keeping the tires glued to the pavement. Out back, the trailing struts tied into the lower control arms, working like loyal sidekicks to help stabilize the rear. The result? A suspension system that balanced muscle car aggression with a hint of sophistication. Sure, it still rode like a car that wanted to throw a punch, but with this setup, the AMX could actually dance a little before the brawl began. Step inside the AMX and you found that this car wasn't just concerned with how fast you got there. It wanted you to look good while doing it. The interiors were redesigned for the new model year, starting with a broad wood grain dashboard that looked like it was borrowed from a luxury lounge rather than a muscle machine. Added in a center console and the quirky two-spoke rim blow steering wheel, and you got a cockpit that was equal parts style and 1970s innovation. Yes, the rim blow literally let you honk by squeezing the rim. Like AMC thought your horn should be as convenient as your morning orange juice. The tall bucket seats were also freshened up, now boasting a clamshell design with integrated headrests. They looked sporty, hugged you tight, and made sure you didn't go flying when the AMX decided to unleash all its torque fury. And for just $34 more, you could step up to leather upholstery, because nothing says I'm faster than you like doing it while sitting in a leather-clad throne. All in all, the AMX's interior walked the line between muscle and refinement. It was a street fighter dressed up for a night out on the town. At the business of the drivetrain, AMC gave the 1970 AMX a rear setup that could either play nice or bite hard. Standard was the trusted open-style AMC Model 20 differential. Think of it like a friendly neighbor. It'll get the job done, but don't expect it to help you win in a drag races. For those who wanted to leave two black stripes of authority on the pavement, AMC offered the twin grip limited slip differential. The option turned the AMX from a one-wheel wonder into a traction-grabbing street bully, keeping both tires in the fight. Stopping power wasn't overlooked either. Power front disc brakes came in to make sure all that speed didn't end up with you wrapped around a telephone pole. Pair that with F70x14 raised white letter tires, and the AMX had both grip and style. Because nothing screams muscle car quite like bold white letters spinning in your rearview mirror. AMC also sweetened the deal with an optional handling package and heavy-duty cooling. The handling package gave the AMX sharper reflexes, while the cooling system kept it from overheating during those moments when your right foot forgot the meaning of moderation. Together, these extras made the AMX a well-rounded street predator. The 1970 AMX may have been small compared to some of Detroit's land yachts, but it packed its muscle into a lean, athletic frame. Measuring 179 inches in length, 71 inches wide, and just 51 inches tall, the AMX looked like a sprinter crouched in the starting blocks, low, wide, and ready to explode forward. Its short 97-inch wheelbase only added to the aggressive stance, giving it the look of a cold spring waiting for release. Weighing in around 3,000 pounds, the AMX was no heavyweight. Instead, it was like the middleweight boxer of the muscle car ring, light on its feet but still carrying a serious punch. The lighter curb weight gave it a better acceleration and handling compared to some of its bulkier rivals, making it a bit of a sleeper assassin on the street. The dimensions also made the AMX unique in the muscle car world. While others went for stretch proportions and big back seats, AMC kept things short, sharp, and driver-focused. This wasn't a family car in disguise, it was a pure two-seater muscle machine. Compact yet powerful, the AMX proved that sometimes the best things really do come in slightly smaller, angrier packages. The 1970 AMX was a muscle car with a personality as bold as its paint job, and like any standout character, it had its strengths. and a few quirks. Let's start with the positives. Underneath that compact, aggressive exterior, the AMX was nimble, light, and surprisingly balanced. Its engine lineup, especially the 360 and 390 V8s, with the optional Go package, could launch you off the line like a cheetah chasing a gazelle, while the twin grip differential and handling package ensured it stuck to the pavement instead of wandering around like a confused puppy. The interior, with its wood grain dashboard, rim blow steering wheel, and clamshell bucket seats, added a touch of class to all that brute force. But the AMX wasn't perfect. Its short wheelbase, while great for agility, could make it twitchy in sharp corners like a caffeinated squirrel on a skateboard. The compact interior left little room for passengers or luggage, so don't plan out a road trip unless you travel light. And while the AMX had power front discs and heavy-duty cooling, the open-style differential on the base model could let one rear wheel spin freely if you weren't careful, reminding you that raw power needs some guidance. In the end, the AMX was a fiery little package, thrilling, aggressive, and unapologetically bold, with just enough quirks to keep life interesting. And there you have it, the 1970 AMC AMX, a compact firecracker of a muscle car that proves you don't need to be the biggest to be the baddest on the block. From its aggressive stance and functional power blister hood to the growl of its 360 and 390 V8s, the AMX was a little car with a big attitude. It could sprint, it could corner, and with the right options, it could leave a trail of rubber and envy behind it. Think of it as a street fighter in a tailored suit. Small, stylish, and ready to throw down at a moment's notice. But now I want to hear from you. If you could take one classic muscle car for a weekend spin, would the AMX be your choice, or is there another beast that gets your heart racing? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm always curious which legends get the most love from fellow enthusiasts. If you enjoyed this deep dive into AMC's punchy little performer, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more classic muscle madness. And remember, wherever you take your next ride, keep it loud, keep it classic.